Well, hello and welcome to our show. It is, what is today? Thursday, March 3rd, 2022. Welcome back to another exciting episode of The Ram Show. Um, yeah, I'm a bit rusty this week. Hi, Zach.
Hello.
It's been a couple of weeks since we have been here. I guess you had some fun a couple weeks ago, and last week you were, sounds like you had a long day.
Yeah, I did.
So, what happened?
I mean, there was snow, and it took me almost 2 hours to get home. That was it.
Oh. So that was like one of those, like, you were required to come into the office things?
Yeah, except for the part where I didn't even do any work that I couldn't have done from home, so it's a little ridiculous. I was very, very angry about that. And I was sitting, at the... I was sitting in traffic, going at less than walking pace, and just, like, what am I doing? Why was I in the office today? Really? I didn't need to be in the office at all.
Socialization.
With one person? Okay, whatever.
That is honestly my favorite part of lunch, is when people are in the office, is getting to know my coworkers.
I only have one.
Well, no, you have more than one coworker. You have probably one coworker directly in your department.
Yeah, I only work with one person.
I know. I don't work with these. Well, technically I work with them in some fashion because we're all connected by the business, but I don't directly work with them.
Well, yeah.
I'm also a much more social person than you are.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, so I'm sporting your colors from your neck of the woods.
Oh, well, look at you. I don't care. I'm actually... I don't know. I don't really follow anything that they do, but yeah, very cool.
So I was at TJ Maxx the other day. This was on sale for like $10. I was like, huh. And it's really comfortable too. Like, it's really soft. So this is a good find. I'm frugal as all can be, so $10 for a nice sweatshirt. It's like, if somebody needs to get me a gift and they don't know what to get me like a nice sweatshirt. And I'll be happy. So yeah. We're gonna try not to get too political in this show, but there are a series of events happening in places around the world, and many people are talking about it, and it's a mess.
It's super relevant.
So we're gonna talk a little bit about that. My personal opinion on this, again, not to get too political into it, I don't quite exactly know what he expects to get out of this, but I don't think it's going to end well for him. That is what I think. But yeah. I shouldn't be laughing because it is a serious situation, but you kind of look at it like this doesn't seem like it's going to end well for him. But I don't know. So,
no, I would say I agree with that. I mean, I'm not a defense expert or a geopolitics expert, but I mean, it just from my untrained perspective, it certainly looks questionable. I don't know.
Well, you know what? Let's get right into this, right? So, obviously with all the stuff that is happening around this situation right now, I think anytime that you have similar things like this, there are a lot of companies and organizations and other things of the nature that are just kind of like, well, we're gonna kind of boycott you as a country.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of something called ICANN, Zach?
Yes, of course.
Well, the Ukraine has asked ICANN to revoke Russian domains and shut down DNS root servers.
And honestly, that seems to me like something that's very unlikely to happen.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, obviously it would be completely unprecedented if it did happen. I would be very surprised. Like, I don't know.
I thought that this was an interesting headline here. So, a Ukrainian government official on Monday asked the nonprofit group that oversees the internet's domain name system, DNS, to shut down DNS root servers in Russia and revoke Russian domains such as .ru, .pdp, I think is what that is, or PQB maybe, and .su. Letter to ICANN, which is the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers. I didn't actually know that. Was posted, and ICANN has confirmed that it received the letter. Several internet experts say that granting Ukraine's request would be a bad idea.
I'm inclined to agree with that. It seems a little excessive. I mean, by no means do I agree with what they're doing, but I mean, if you think about it, something like that is going to screw over the average person way more than it's going to screw over the government, which is actually responsible for the events that are happening.
So several internet experts say that granting Ukraine's request would be a bad idea. Executive Director Bill Woodcock of Packet Clearinghouse. Okay. Sure. Moving on. Sorry. Just that name. And sorry. What? Packet Clearinghouse? Really? Because my mind can't stop thinking about PCH, Publishers Clearinghouse, which is like the exact same letters. Like, that's where they had to have gotten that from. But anyway,
most likely, yeah.
An international nonprofit that provides operational support and security to internet exchange points and the core of the domain name system wrote a Twitter thread calling it, a heck of an ask on the part of Ukraine as a critical infrastructure operator. My inclination is to say heck no, regardless of my sympathies. Sent days after Russia's invasion in the Ukraine began, the letter said that Russia's atrocious crimes have been made possible mainly due to Russian propaganda machinery using websites continuously spreading disinformation, hate speech, promoting violence, and hiding the truth regarding the war in Ukraine. Ukrainian IT infrastructure has undergone numerous attacks from the Russian side, impeding citizens and government's ability to communicate. I mean, this sounds very similar to what happened and continues to happen in not just this country, but other countries around the world, where the ability for everyone to have a voice and spread their opinion is not necessarily always the greatest thing. Because,
yeah, I guess, I don't know.
All of a sudden, you have a bunch of quote-unquote experts come out.
Well, I think that, I mean, regardless of what it is, or whether it should or shouldn't be, it's certainly a reality. So I think it's just an essential skill of living in 2022 to discern real expertise from misguided expertise.
I think that part of
misinformation from actual information.
Sure.
That's just an essential skill of using the internet.
Sure.
Living in 2022.
As you're going to get arguments from both sides, though, oh well, this side says one thing and this is true, this side says another thing and this is true. Let's take the internet out of the equation for a moment and just look at what would be called in our country as mainstream media. Well, actually, I don't know why I'm doing the air quotes, but mainstream media, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where you watch one particular network and the other side says, oh, everything they say is a lie. And then on the flip side of the coin, it's the other side saying the exact same thing. And depending on what side of the aisle you're on, you're going to believe the content that comes from that side. I think it's more than just... I think people, at least in our country, I think get hung up sometimes in the party rather than necessarily maybe looking at what is actually there. I'm not a political expert, but there have been comments made about, you could put, I don't know, a plushie up there, right? And say it's running for one political party. And I am sure that there are people that would vote for it because they are just like, that's the party, that's what I believe, that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, a lot of people these days are
So
keen to basically believe anything that, or basically they're keen to go along with anything that, I don't know, that they're anything they're told to go along with. That sounds a little pretentious, I guess. But...
So I agree that I think people need to go out and do their own research, but what does that necessarily mean?
Like, it's okay to disagree with your... I guess I should say is it's okay to disagree with some of the things that your party, shall we say, thinks. You don't have to agree with all of it. You don't have to agree with everything they say and do.
I would agree with that. Some people are still hung up on that, though. The thing is that, like, so, everyone says, okay, go out, go do your own research, right? People are going to come back and tell you that they have. Where is that research coming from? Is it random links posted on... This is where I think the issue
Yes, it is.
I think that where the problem lies is that there is so much out there and it is so widely available that I think it's more people need to develop skills to not just look at one piece of, I don't know, better skills to do research, I guess. Not just looking at the first thing that pops up and reading it and being like, okay, I've done my research.
I'm not sure they will ever do that. And by they, I'm not referring to anyone in particular. I'm just talking about people in general. There's always going to be tons of people who do not have that skill. I mean, we think that, like, oh, Generation Z and all, whoever comes after that, because they were raised with technology. They ought to be able to sift through the misinformation and whatever on the internet. Well, that's false, I think. I think that I think it's just going to be a thing forever. People are going to...
I don't know about this, though. Okay, I think that you're going to have some scenarios with that. I think that, personally, the millennial generation is just... I don't know. I feel like our generation is like, politics, we want nothing to do with it, and we are somewhat disengaged.
I'm not talking about... Well, I guess I'm not entirely talking about politics, although, when we talk about misinformation on the internet, that is a heavily technology-focused thing.
Sure.
And that's what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm talking about that. How to function on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
And with technology, I mean, I don't know. Look at it this way. Think about this, okay? Do you know any young people who have shockingly low computer skills? Because I do.
I think it depends on
family or whatever.
I think it depends on what your level is. Now, a young person is going to generally have a better understanding, basic, high well, I don't know if I would say high functioning, but high functioning understanding of at least the basics. You get beyond that, and now you're starting to get into power users, right? But I mean, how many young people do you see? How many kids do you see with a phone in their hand and they're going at it?
A lot.
Yeah. But I think that in the world that we live in, we are conditioned to just, especially kids, right? What do the parents do when the kid won't be quiet?
Yeah, we all know what happens.
Here's a device. This has become a babysitter. But that then becomes I think it becomes a learned skill at that point that this is a distraction from the real world.
Yeah, I mean it is. I don't know.
I mean,
And
social media is the exact same way, you know. But again, yeah, it is so easy for us to share information these days, right? And then you have these groups of people, these influencers out there that people follow to an almost cult-like status in some cases, right? And well, this person believes this, so I must believe it too. Or it can even be even simpler than that. Hey, this person has, you know, this piece of clothing.
where are we going with this?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
We kind of went down a tangent, but I mean, to get back to where we were, you know, it's so easy to share information, and it's not just, you know, doing your research means actually doing your research, fact checking these things.
We were talking about Russia getting disconnected from the internet, not research.
Right, but the reason why was because of the spread of misinformation. That's where we got off on this.
I guess I don't know. I would have thought that though that the this whole idea that some people say they should be disconnected from the internet would be derived from this idea that it would be another sanction, I guess, placed on them.
So it looks like, based off of reading this, it's not, the idea is to stop. So it sounds like that Russia is trying to push propaganda into the Ukraine to basically say, like, to try to get people to think differently. Like, oh, this is a bad thing. Like, it's a good thing. I don't know. That's what this made it sound like.
That seems bonkers that anyone could possibly think that disconnecting Russia from the internet will cause them to stop doing that. It's not like they're just going to pack their bags and be like, darn, guess we can't use the internet. No, they're going to find other ways around it.
I think it's to try to slow it down.
The internet is very decentralized. Well, in some ways.
Let me read this again. So,
I mean, they have. I mean, they're a nation, a government. Like they can just have some people in another country go and post propaganda for them. You know.
Let's see.
It's not like they can't do that.
Oh, they definitely can. So, okay.
Yeah. So that's why I wonder why anyone would think that would be a good reason to disconnect them from the internet.
Due to Russian propaganda machinery, using websites continuously spreading disinformation, hate speech, promoting violence, and hiding the truth regarding the war in the Ukraine. So it looks like it's an attempt to stop them from posting that stuff. You're right. Yeah, they're going to find a way around it. And
yeah, they're just going to find a way around it, and it's just going to screw over the random citizens who don't have anything to do with it.
Yeah. I mean, kind of an interesting ask.
So I guess for that reason, I kind of disagree with that idea, but whatever. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
I mean, it's more than likely unlikely to happen. But, again, it was
more than likely
it's
unlikely.
An interesting ask.
Sure. Oh, it is certainly an interesting ask.
I'm just looking at comments on this.
It's about as likely, though, as the U.S. government stopping spying on people.
And somebody, somebody here in the comments is kind of, mediating the exact same thing of, like, collateral damage. Let's see. So I don't know if it's. I mean, this person comments, they understand what they're trying to do, but they don't know if wiping a bunch of websites doesn't seem like a great idea. So I don't know if it would be a total. I think the idea is to. Yeah, you're right. To block though, probably resolution from any of those particular top level domains. I think is more probably the ask here. So not to necessarily shut
Okay,
down the
I
internet,
understand.
not to necessarily shut down the internet, but to block websites with those top level domains.
That also seems kind of bizarre, but I guess makes a maybe I don't know. It still seems bizarre to me. Actually, I don't
So
really get why they would do that.
well, because again, so it sounds like those websites are the ones that are promoting this, so it's kind of a form of censorship. So, what shall you say, basically, right? It's
I think
like
by definition it is censorship.
no, it is censorship. So think of it this way, right? Like, okay, so Facebook is spreading all this misinformation, and I mean that's kind of a bad example. Okay, fine. The New York Times, right? Let's take the New York Times, right? It's like spreading all this like really like you know um basically undesirable information. So it would be like essentially, blocking the resolution to that website. So essentially it just
Yes, I understand
doesn't
how that
resolve
works.
anymore. Um so now that makes more sense. As I kind of read down, that makes a lot more sense as to a I guess an attempt to again basically censor that. Well, not basically to censor it. So anyway, um, yeah, I mean, there's going to be ways around that. Um, you know,
Well, yeah, they're yeah.
so I mean, again, like that person said, I get what they're trying to do. Is it super practical? No, not really, unfortunately. But I get what they're trying to do. So, um, let's move on from some less I was gonna say less depressing news, but I don't know if this will be any less depressing. Sad maybe. Um, so you don't currently own a Samsung device, Zach?
No.
Would you ever go back?
Although I got one from work, and oh my god, I hate it. It's horrible. It's absolutely awful.
Well,
As soon as I turned it on, it had like 10, 15 different garbage bloatware programs installed. Like, what is this?
uh,
Why do I don't want Netflix or Disney Plus or Bixby. Holy crap. Get it out. It's trash.
oh my,
It's literal
oh
trash.
my! I've hit a button. I've hit a button.
It was complete garbage.
All right, here you go, Zach. Is Samsung the latest Android device maker throttling apps?
I don't know. Are they? You tell me.
Some of Samsung smartphones include software that appears to be artificially limiting or throttling the performance of thousands of popular apps, Android Authority reports. Reports about the behavior have been gathering steam on Twitter, as well as Samsung's Korean community forums.
Well, everyone knows that anything that happens on the manufacturer's own forum is probably going to be moderated if it doesn't suit the company's image.
I think Apple got rid of like I feel like they got rid of something. Like
Apple got rid of something. You're gonna have to be more descriptive, I'm afraid.
I feel like they got rid of like the rating count thing or something like that on their website or something so that you couldn't like search for like negative reviews or something like that. I think I can't
That's
remember.
fun.
I feel like we had a story about that a long time ago, but anyway, at the core of the issue is Samsung software called Game Optimizing Service, or GOS.
Oh, great!
Which
Game Optimizer. Yeah, that sounds like one of those like sketchy programs that'll claim to like boost your computer or something. You know? Just straight
download more
garbage.
memory.
Well, download more RAM was actually a joke. It was a straight up joke. But no, I'm talking
Wait,
about
somebody
like,
actually built an app?
for download more RAM?
Yeah.
It was a website. It still is a website. You just click a button and it shows a loading bar and then it doesn't do anything. I don't know. It says on the page, this page is a joke and won't do anything.
I mean, I knew that like the whole like download more RAM was a joke, but I didn't know that somebody went as far as to create a website for this.
It's been around forever. What are you talking about?
No, I didn't know that.
It's been around forever.
Download more RAM. Instant, fast, free. Okay, please select the amount of RAM you would like to download. One cannot simply download too much RAM. Well, heck, let's just go 32 gigabytes. Your RAM downloads will begin shortly. Download. This is hilarious. Download complete. Click here for more info.
You just got rickrolled.
Oh my gosh! It rickrolls you! That
More
is...
like you just got McDonald's rolled or whatever that was.
That was an ab, but that is hilarious! Disclaimer, this isn't a scam. There isn't a virus. It's just a joke website. Nothing is being downloaded. Oh my gosh. This is hilarious. Can you actually buy stuff? This is just a white shirt. Download more RAM gift labels. Are these just white labels?
I'm sure the page is just broken or whatever.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oops. Let me see if I can hit the right buttons here. That is hilarious. Oh my. Anyway, yeah, so game optimizing service, which is reportedly throttling the performance of 10,000 apps. The list includes popular apps like Instagram, Netflix, TikTok, and even Samsung's own apps like Secure Folder and Samsung Pay. What?
I mean, it's almost like they just completely weren't paying any attention when Apple did this exact same thing and got like slammed for it by criticism.
Yeah. Curiously, however, it doesn't appear to include benchmarking apps like 3D Mark and Geekbench.
That's hilarious. Also, this whole idea of benchmarking a phone just seems so silly to me. Like, oh, I want the phone
Gamer
that's the fastest
phone.
in Facebook. Like, what?
No, it's for mobile gaming, dude.
Gamer phone, yeah, whatever. You seen those gamer phones? They're pretty ridiculous.
I think we've covered a couple on the show.
Oh yeah, probably just.
Anyway, so it means they might not give an accurate picture of the performance of a phone. So a benchmarking app will run just fine, but when you actually come to use an app like TikTok, you might not get the full performance you expect, and arguably deserve. A test done by one Korean YouTuber shows the extent of the impact this can have simply by renaming a benchmarking app that wouldn't usually be throttled, so 3D Mark, to the name of a popular game that is. They were reportedly able to trick the phone into throttling 3D Mark's Wildlife Extreme benchmark, reducing its overall score from 20 2618 to 1141.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's kind of significant.
I mean, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess it is.
What's unclear at the moment is which phones are equipped with this game optimizing service. Android Authority reports that it didn't find the software on its Galaxy S22 devices, the Galaxy S20 FE, or the Galaxy S10e, but they did find it on the Galaxy S21 Plus. But confusingly, 9 to 5 Google reports that the software was installed on their Galaxy S22 Plus. The Korean YouTuber cited above appears to be showing the software running on a Galaxy S22 Ultra.
This sounds like, I remember that Apple did it on the premise that it would improve the battery life or whatever, but
No, so it was that.
or it was because of old batteries,
Right, so it was to. The idea
Yeah,
was.
I remember now.
Was
I
to.
remember now. My thought is gonna get interrupted. I gotta finish it. But anyway, I'm thinking that maybe their reasoning for this is that it's what it says on the tin, game optimizing service. They probably want to restrict the performance of background apps for the gamers. So Fortnite mobile runs at an extra 5 FPS or whatever. I don't know. But why does it have to be obfuscated? I don't understand that. Like, why can't it just be a toggleable feature? Just tell the user, hey, we're doing this, and if you don't want us to do this, then push this to turn it off.
Because the average user is, in the eyes of them, how do I put this nicely?
It's stupid.
I was gonna try to come up with a better word or a nicer word, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, well, look, we don't have to. We aren't Samsung. We don't have to sugarcoat Samsung's words or thoughts or whatever.
I mean, I want to try to be nice.
We're not going to get canceled for saying stupid. Don't worry. But anyway, regardless of how stupid the end user is, if the end user is capable of installing apps on their phone,
know what?
I'm pretty sure that language
if we want to be nicer,
which can
uneducated.
communicate the idea to them that, hey, we have reduced the performance of some of these apps. We've made your phone slower in these apps for the reason of making this app faster.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Making the battery last longer or whatever. Okay. If you don't want us to do that, turn it off here.
If you're okay, but if
someone
you're running
can't
along
understand those words, they don't need to have a phone.
If you're running on the premise that the user is in fact stupid, right? Quote unquote stupid.
If the user is that stupid, use the words that I just said.
Okay.
They will understand. Even a stupid person will understand.
If that is in fact the truth, though, they're not going to. I mean, the average user isn't going to care anyway. This is a power user thing.
Okay, then fine. No problem. If they don't care, no problem.
If the story of an Android device makes throttling app performance sound familiar to you, then that might be because OnePlus was caught in a very similar situation last year, where it was diverting popular apps like Chrome and Twitter, but not benchmarking apps away from its phone's processor's high-performance CPU cores. OnePlus justified the decision by saying it was optimizing the battery life and heat, but users were rightly annoyed that they weren't told about this behavior up front.
This is honestly the first I'm hearing of about it, and I have one of their phones, so maybe I should see which phones are affected. Although, I haven't noticed anything wrong with my phone, so.
Samsung has yet to respond for a request for comment on what its game optimizing service is meant to achieve, though if it's similar to OnePlus, it seems likely it's also aimed at improving battery life. But what's less clear is why users aren't given the option of disabling the behavior, or why Samsung hasn't told them about it in the first place.
Why? Yeah.
I think manufacturers actually think that people are stupider than they actually are. Nobody will actually figure this out. And then somebody does, and then they're like, oh crap.
Actually, I think manufacturers are stupider than we think they are, because, I mean, anyone with common sense knows that, someone out there is going to figure this out. right?
I don't know.
Anyone with
Or do
common
they do it
sense
for, or
can
do they do it for
realize how
publicity?
silly it is, the notion that out of millions of devices sold, that not one owner of such device will ever notice what has been done to it.
Or, like I said, is it done for publicity? We're talking about it right now. Free publicity.
I mean, I get that, oh, any publicity is good publicity, but I mean, come on, this is blatantly bad publicity. Like,
To
really?
go back on your...
There are plenty of ways that Samsung can garner good publicity, or any publicity at all that is better than this.
Actually,
Like,
no,
I
you know
don't know,
what?
how about making some user-friendly changes to their device's software? That would get
Right?
people talking about Samsung, and it would certainly get them talking about Samsung in a good way.
Because I want to be nice, and
You're too nice.
uh,
Stop being nice to companies. Companies don't
no,
have
not
feelings.
companies. So we had an interesting scenario with a user at work.
Oh, lay on the heat. Let's hear how stupid they are.
No, that's not nice.
I don't care. Working with users isn't nice, so the least I can do is vent about it.
I will put it this way: is I think it was a it was definitely a misunderstanding on this user's part. They were attempting to access a shared location, and we thought that it was this user also works remotely. And
VPN was turned off.
we assumed that it was a VPN. Well, I don't know if we assumed. I think the user maybe thought it was a VPN problem. That wasn't allowing them to get in. It was not, in fact, a VPN problem. It was the location of where they were trying to enter the path to the shared folder was a web browser.
Yikes! Okay, yeah, that's rough.
Once we figured that out, though, we understood what was causing so much difficulty with the user attempting to get to where they were wanting.
Stupid. Grade A stupid.
I would not say grade A stupid.
I will. That is ridiculous.
In fairness, right? Okay, look, we look at a lot of things, right? And we're just like, oh gosh, that is such a, as you would put it, a stupid thing, right? To do, right? But think about it. If you're not as familiar, I mean, we take for granted the fact that we are as good with computers as we are, but let's take something, right? That you are unfamiliar with. I'm sure you're likely to make something that is, to do something quote unquote stupid at the same level.
Absolutely. And when I learn better, I'm going to look back on my past behavior and be like, darn, I was stupid. Glad I know how to do it better now.
So, yeah. No, I really think it was a misunderstanding. And, like, so I don't know what this user's experience was in the past, because, like, Microsoft, like, you used to be able to take, like, an Internet Explorer window and put a folder path in there, and it would, like, work just fine. You can take an Explorer window.
I use Firefox, and I'm fairly sure you can still do that in Firefox, although I haven't tried in a while. You know what? I'm going to try it now.
I don't think you can get to...
You can't. Okay. But...
yeah, no, it did not resolve to... that's a shared location, and it did not work. Actually, Firefox just kind of looked at it and was like, sure? Like, it didn't even error out. It just, like, didn't accept it. Firefox, or Chrome errored out on me.
And well, the reason I thought it might be possible is because, you know, you can drag a... you can, like, drag a picture from your hard drive somewhere, somewhere on your local storage, and just drag it up into the browser.
You're right, yes. It shows it a little bit differently, however, though. You can do that in Chrome, too, but it has a different extension in it. It's not the, what would those be? The backslashes.
Huh?
Well, you know how when you try to access, like, a shared location, you do //?
Yeah.
And then the location. So the user was attempting to do that, but in a web browser, like in the address bar of a web browser.
Yeah, I understand.
So, if you do that in a web browser, it doesn't work, right?
Big dummy moment.
Be nice. Oh, be nice.
I am.
Anyway. But no, you used to be able to do that in older versions of Windows, and it would work just fine. Like Internet Explorer, I believe you could do that, and again, it would just open an Explorer window, no problem. So that might have been that user's experience in the past. Let's see. Also, specifically talking about Samsung, did you know that Samsung will be killing off its Note brand apparently?
Yeah, I guess the writing's been on the wall for Note, huh?
Has it?
Yeah, I mean they haven't released a new model in a minute, haven't they?
I thought they did. Samsung is officially killing off the Galaxy Note brand name.
I thought the last generation of
Oh.
Galaxy phones had like they basically rolled the Note into the like the Galaxy S, you know.
Oh.
Because I noticed
Yeah,
that
they're killing off the name.
the newest one of the newest like top models of the S22 or whatever they're on now has a pen, and I was like, huh, that must mean they're getting rid of the Note. Because that was one of the marquee features of the Note, you know?
Right, that's what made the
Pen.
Note a Note, is it came with the stylus.
Well, and it had a giant screen, but yeah, I mean, whatever. Everybody's got a
Right.
giant screen now.
So no, okay, so they're not killing off the Note per se, they're killing off the brand name though. The news was confirmed by Samsung smartphone Samsung
Oh, they're killing the Note.
Samsung's smartphone chief.
It sounds to me like they're killing the Note.
Who told reporters at Mobile World Congress 2022 that Galaxy Note will come out as Ultra going forward. So it's, yeah, so they're basically killing it off and rolling it into the Ultra. Okay, well that's boring.
Yeah. Why are they killing it, I wonder? I mean, especially if they're just making the same device anyway, like what's the point of killing the name? I don't know. Probably maybe something
Marketing,
to do with bad PR with the name or something.
Why did Apple decide to go with like the iPhone XS Max or iPhone XS Pro Max Ultra supersized, you know?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. They're stupid, I guess.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Anyway. Moving into Microsoft news for this week. So, Microsoft is testing a Windows 11 desktop feature that adds a watermark for unsupported hardware, Zach.
What? wait, so you're gonna get like one of those activate Windows things if your hardware is not supported?
Pretty much.
And what do you mean by unsupported? Like pretty much anything can run Windows.
I'm gonna
Unless
guess.
you're talking about the TPM.
I think it's the TPM stuff.
Oh my god. Well, good thing I don't care about Windows 11 because I'm not supported. Apparently an X570 chipset and well, I guess it's not the motherboard, is it? No. Apparently a 3900X can't run Windows 11. It is too potato.
Too potato for you.
Too potato for Windows 11.
Wait, what can't run on it? What?
A Ryzen 9 3900X can't run Windows 11.
You have a 3900. I have the 2900 or.
Oh, you had a 2700X.
Yeah, I have a 2700X, I think. Right. So, well, I think it's dependent on the motherboard. Yeah, you're right with the TPM. I don't think it's the chip necessarily.
Well, I have an X570, so there you go. That at the time, that was the high-end chipset.
Microsoft is currently experimenting with 2 new methods to warn Windows 11 users that they have installed the operating system on unsupported hardware. In the latest test builds of Windows 11, a new watermark has appeared on the desktop wallpaper alongside a similar warning in the landing page of the Settings app. If the test build is running on unsupported hardware, the desktop watermark simply states system requirements not met, and appears alongside the build number that is only shown on evaluation of pre-release versions of Windows. It's similar but less prominent to the semi-transparent watermark that appears in Windows if you haven't activated the OS. Twitter user Albacore first spotted the setting warning earlier this month.
They probably won't. I don't think they would do that. I mean, Microsoft isn't a hardware company. I mean, they are, but in this context, not really. They don't really stand to benefit much from users upgrading their hardware, right? I mean, besides the Surface line, I guess, they're not really selling most of the PCs that people run Windows on. So I'm not sure why Microsoft would get any benefit out of, I guess, discouraging certain people from using Windows 11. Microsoft wants everyone to use Windows 11.
Yeah, so it's not clear Microsoft intends to enable this desktop wallpaper warning widely, though. The software maker revealed recently that it would test new editions of Windows 11 that might not make the final cut. Still, these new warnings are a sign that Microsoft wants to modify how Windows 11 appears on unsupported hardware. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, regardless, I don't really feel like it's appropriate or necessary for Windows to put a giant ugly watermark on the desktop under any circumstances. Maybe you could say that, okay, we'll activate Windows then. Okay, fine, whatever. I'll activate Windows. But once I do, I don't want Microsoft putting any crap on the desktop.
Yeah, Microsoft's minimum hardware requirements for Windows 11 have been controversial, particularly as the OS only officially supports Intel 8th Gen Coffee Lake or Zen Plus and Zen 2 CPUs and up. Okay. Mine is not Zen 2, I don't think. It's probably like Zen 1.
No, yours is not. The 3000 series was the first Zen 2 series.
This move left millions of PCs behind, but there's an easy way to bypass that restriction and install Windows 11. Now, anyone who has used that workaround may start to see these warnings in future updates to Windows 11. Curious to see what happens with my virtual machine that I loaded with Windows 11, if I'll see this.
I mean, there's still no way that Microsoft will block you from running Windows 11. They want you to use it. There would be no reason for them to prevent you from doing that.
I had to do some trickery registry stuff when I installed it in a virtual machine before I could even install it.
Had to do a registry shenanigans before you could even install it, but how could you get into the registry without installing it?
Because you can do it through the out-of-box. Was it through the out-of-box experience?
Oh, you can actually open regedit through there. That's funny.
You can open a command prompt in the out-of-box experience.
Yes, of course. Shift
F10. I know this because we're trying to enroll devices in, into an autopilot right now.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's interesting. I don't have a high enough level of permission to enroll the test device that I have right now. So I gotta figure that out. Anyway, Microsoft has used similar warnings for unactivated versions of Windows in the past and restricts features like dark mode, personalization settings, and themes from being modified until a system is activated. Microsoft doesn't appear to be experimenting with any feature restrictions, and the warnings are so far only subtle ones instead of pop-ups or notifications. Okay.
Yeah, I guess so.
Anyway. This.
Well, just one more reason to avoid Windows 11, I guess.
Have you ever heard of a company?
I wonder if I upgrade to a 5000 series CPU, if I'll be able to run Windows 11. Oh boy.
Have you
I
ever
think
done,
a 5950X can run it.
if you can find one?
They're easy to find. I'm thinking of getting a 5950X when the next series launches, because you know some dummy will probably be unloading one on eBay for less than they should be. What do you think?
I don't know. Processors are hard to come by right now, aren't they?
You can nah. Most of the new CPUs are readily available by this point. You can
Mm.
just go and buy one. Even the
Um,
newer Intel ones, I was at Micro Center and I've seen them just sitting on shelves. You can go and buy even a 12th gen Intel CPU.
hmm. I'll wrap things up here in a moment. Have you ever heard of a company called Dymo?
Yes.
So Dymo makes label makers,
Oh
right?
yeah, they make printers. Ew.
They make printers?
Yeah. A label maker is a printer. It just makes sticky paper.
Oh, okay, okay. Well,
Ew. Get me out of here.
so it seems now Dymo, a manufacturer of printers, has cooked up a new way to make their printers exclusively use their own brand of printing labels, Zach.
Oh great. So let me guess. The label has a I don't know. Label has an RFID chip in it or something.
DRM for paper.
You know, I was talking trash when I said that, but you know what? I wasn't far from the truth, was I? That's disgusting.
DRM for paper.
That is disgusting. That is vile. Oh my god. DRM for paper.
Oh my gosh, here you go.
We live in the best
Here you go,
timeline.
Zach. This article starts off with, I can't think of a device I hate more than a printer.
Yes. Yes.
They're usually nastily built. The consumables are crazy expensive. The manufacturers load them with restrictions, and they don't last very long.
Yeah, you know, I recently watched Office Space, and oh my god.
I haven't watched it, but I know that they're.
The printer,
I have never seen Office Space, the movie.
Oh my
but
god,
I've heard.
It just speaks to me.
Oh.
Like, okay, it wouldn't even spoil anything for me to tell you. Okay, the one dude has his buddies in the car from work, and you know. He
and
tells
they smash
them
the
he's
crap
got a
out.
going away gift for them. And what do? They go into a field somewhere and they bust out that printer, they plop it down on the ground somewhere, and they just smash it with hammers.
I've seen the meme, and I know that, yeah, they just, they beat the crap out of a printer.
Yes. Yes. They have previously in the movie had some choice words for that printer, so.
So Dymo is giving us yet another reason to hate printers. It's building DRM directly into the printer paper, or in this case, rolls of labels.
Does it have like invisible ink or something on it?
I don't know. According to...
Oh my god.
According to this author journalist, let's see here. So Dymo is... oh my gosh, Zach! Dymo is putting, you guessed it, RFID readers into its latest label printers.
Yeah! Yeah, of course they are. You know, but this isn't even new behavior from printer manufacturers. I mean, HP and... Do you remember back when HP and Canon, or I think it was maybe just Canon, but they were literally telling people, hey, here's how you bypass the RFID chips in our ink cartridges, because we literally cannot produce enough ink cartridges to sell to all.
Okay, this is even taking it one more step further, right?
Ink has DRM in it.
What, HP printers?
I'm sure, but also Canon ones.
Oh.
I was just telling you, yeah.
I wasn't paying attention because I was reading this.
That. Not we didn't do that. We talked about that.
So, yeah, the new rolls basically have an RFID equipped micro controller that authenticates.
Oh, the roll probably has.
Yep, that authenticates with your label maker to attest that you bought Dymo's premium price labels and not a competitor's. So, and if you're thinking to yourself, okay, fine, well, I'll just take the cartridge apart and put new paper in it. No, the chip counts down the labels as you print them, so you can't transplant it to a generic roll.
Oh my god. whoever designed this was like, was like, they were not satisfied with just being a little evil. They had to be all the evil. That's
so
lovely.
I have a Dymo label printer, right?
You should beat it up.
No, because mine doesn't have this feature in it. And
Feature, you say?
So here's the problem, right? And as Dymo would not want you to do,
Is that a bootleg cartridge?
I have 4 of them.
Bootleg cartridge detected. Oh my god, yeah, that's just lovely.
I think
that reminds me of, like, when are we gonna start like jailbreaking our printers?
Oh, nope, I take that back. Zach. Nope. That one's the brother one.
When are we gonna start jailbreaking our printers so we can use
I do have a Dymo one, but no, that one's not.
Cartridges?
Those aren't for the Dymo one. Those are for the brother one that I've got.
Do you know how we keep occasionally talking about, that whole right to repair thing with farmers jailbreaking their John Deere tractors?
Jailbreak your printer?
Yeah, like, we're gonna be, it's just, I can't imagine, what kind of other things are we gonna be jailbreaking in the future to free ourselves from manufacturer DRM? Like, when are we gonna start jailbreaking our cars or our kitchen appliances? Alert! I see you brought. We see that you put unapproved milk in the refrigerator. Shutting down. Now all your food will spoil. Eat that.
Oh my goodness! So I'm just reading further.
I see you just put unapproved food into your microwave oven. Attempting to bypass the food restrictions is prohibited. The
Keurig did this, right?
We'll be hearing about this.
Keurig did this, right, with their K-Cups?
Unapproved coffee detected. Shutting down. Ceasing functions. Oh my god.
So, reading further into this, the idea of doing this, of course, is users are locked into the Dymo, ecosystem for the life of the product. So, since Section 1201 of the Digital Millennial Copyright Act exposes those who might try to circumvent such DRM to the possibility of huge fines, it's either live with it or junk the printer and buy a printer from one of Dymo's competitors.
Wow, I was unaware of that whole bit with the law. That's lovely.
Dymo has lots of competitors.
I'm sure they do.
Whose comparable printers cost the same as the new DRM bundled models. Even with the cost of throwing away your new Dymo and buying a Zebra or an MF label replacement.
Oh god, those Zebras are trash too. I hate them.
You will still come out ahead once you factor in the savings from buying any labels you choose. When I worked in retail, we had a Zebra printer for printing like barcode labels. It was actually
my last job. We had some users with Zebras, and oh my god.
Nope. I take that back.
Badge printers.
I take that back. No, it was not a Zebra. It used the Zebra template, but it was a brother printer. I take that back.
Oh, is that an unapproved template? Unapproved template? Really? Oh, okay.
I think it was labeled as Zebra. Just like that's what somebody named it, but
I mean, okay, I don't know all the rules about, the laws surrounding jailbreaking devices to get around garbage DRM like this, but that really needs to go. That whatever rules are surrounding that need to go out the window immediately, because this is ridiculous. I mean, like, that's practically, I don't know, that's practically extortion. Like, well, not quite, but I mean, you buy the product and then, like, let's say you didn't know about that and then you tried to buy somebody else's ink. It's like, I don't know. I mean, like,
I think
you better buy our overpriced trash, and if you dare try to jailbreak it, and if you dare try to jailbreak it and use somebody else's, our competitor's product, then that's illegal. Fines for you. I mean, like, is this some kind of like mafia scheme, or is this a printer? I don't get it. Come on.
Oh my
If I bought the
goodness.
product, I better be able to do whatever I want with it.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
You can perhaps make an argument for, like, well, for example, modifications which enable pirated content. I mean, there's the whole debacle over like Nintendo Switches, for example. And I agree that people should still be able to do whatever they want with them, including jailbreak them. However, well, I mean, it's almost like saying, you know, um, okay, I'm actually gonna revise my argument here. Let's see. Okay, here we go. I was gonna go with guns, but that's a debate, so I'm not gonna touch that. It's like saying, a car could run somebody over. It could be used to run somebody over, so you shouldn't have that. Well, but we have cars, okay? So,
And you can do a
well,
lot of
but if you
you can
jailbreak your Switch, you could use it to pirate content.
Okay,
Well,
here's
or
the
I could
thing.
use it for a laundry list of other legit things.
Let's go back on this real quick here. I mean, we are starting to see some, shall we say, DRM related to vehicles with like Teslas and things like that.
Yes,
But
of course.
here's the thing, right? Is that I know diddly squat about changing the brakes on my car, and yet
Mhm.
I can go down to any auto parts store right now
Buy brakes.
and go buy brakes and put them on my vehicle.
And if you do it wrong, you could run somebody over. It'd
Exactly.
be your fault.
But the
Just
manufacturer,
like if you jailbreak your Switch and pirate some content, or distribute pirated content and get raided by the police and go to jail, that's your fault. I mean, that's a completely ludicrous scenario, but just play ball,
yeah.
Just like if you, gasp, jailbreak your Dymo printer and use the competitor's cartridges in it. I mean, that shouldn't. Why? What?
Yeah.
We literally live in a world where it is illegal to jailbreak a label printer and use the competitor's cartridge in it. Really? It is on paper illegal to do that.
I think, yeah, you're right. I think on paper, like the likelihood that Daimo's going to come.
Yeah, I'm sure nobody's going to take you to court for that. But the fact remains that it is technically on paper illegal to do that. Like, what?
I'm sure it is more for
anyone with common sense is going to go, that's ridiculous.
It's more for anyone who tries to circumvent the
now,
locks that they're putting in place.
If you jailbreak your printer and then start distributing software that can jailbreak other people's printers, they'll probably take you to court for that, and that's just about as ridiculous, honestly. Like, again, I paid for the product. I'm going to do whatever I want with it.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, we've said that so many times with regards to so many products, It's crazy. It's just mind-boggling.
Yeah. Let's wrap the show. Before we leave you, a cargo ship carrying thousands of vehicles across the Atlantic Ocean has sunk. Zach. According to the company that operated the ship, a fire broke out on the ship.
Wait, say that again? Hang on. I was reading something. Say that again?
A cargo ship carrying thousands of vehicles across the Atlantic Ocean has sunk.
Uh-oh.
According to the company that operated the ship, a fire broke out on the ship. This happened on the 16th of February. It was traveling from Germany to the USA. Nearly 4,000 cars from the Volkswagen Group were being transported to the US. The company confirmed to Insider. The ship was carrying both electric and non-electric vehicles, according to the AP. And reports from February indicate Porsches, Bentleys, and Lamborghinis, and any other luxury car were among those on board.
Deep sea creatures are getting some cool rides.
It's a new Lamborghini model. It's the aquatic version. Hope you wanted a boat.
Yeah.
While it's unclear exactly what started the blaze, the captain of the port of Horta said lithium-ion batteries and EVs aboard the ship caught fire.
Oh, that's rough.
It's
a shame. Stuff like this, it makes people worried about EVs. They really shouldn't be.
Right.
I mean, like, okay, a battery caught fire. Okay, that sucks. Hope it doesn't happen
You know
again.
what this does?
A
No
gas
pun
car also caught fire.
no pun intended, but this fires up Apple to say, "Oh, look, lithium-ion batteries are so dangerous. This is why we don't let users work on their own devices."
Well, we let users drive gasoline-powered cars, and gasoline is very flammable, so
We let
you
people
know.
fly on airplanes, and jet fuel is even more.
Well, in fairness, we don't let just anybody operate one.
No, but
On the other hand, we do let just about anybody operate a gas-powered car.
This is true. Let's see. All 22 members of the crew were evacuated from the ship and did not need any medical attention, so that's good. On Friday, a salvage team was able to board the ship, and the smoke leaving the vessel has currently stopped and is not visible. The ship was being towed when it sank.
Well, that won't do much good for the rising car prices, I guess.
Yeah. Anyway. So, yeah. Anyway, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. So thanks for joining us. If you liked it, thumbs up. Didn't, thumbs down. I think the thumbs down button is still there. I don't know. There's controversy about whether. Anyway, whatever. Yeah.